Greetings, Internet. It's one more voice again. So I'd like to tack this on to my previous video because I realized that I ended the rant without a massive part of the equation. So the police, with their numbers, probably would not be able to forcibly confiscate every single firearm from the citizenry. Most of them wouldn't, and you know what? Most citizenry would not want to fire on the police, just flat out. However, there is another thing that people often bring up. Well, what happens if the United States military decided to show up, clean house, and confiscate all the firearms from the civilian populace? To that, I say this. That is less likely to happen than the police going out and confiscating their guns from their neighbors. And yes, I know that guns were confiscated during New Orleans, and that came as a shock to everybody. But that was an emergency crime prevention measure, which many officers didn't even comply with. And of course, now that it's public, people are on their guard. They would be even more on their guard if you started legislation. And the firearm confiscation in New Orleans actually only lasted about a day. And of course, there was almost complete and utter media blackout about the entire thing, so no one knew about it. Now, you do this in a populated area that hasn't been ravaged by disaster, and yes, it will go around and spread. But back to the point. So, the United States military coming in and confiscating firearms from the United States citizenry. Okay. The kind of person who becomes a soldier of the United States military is typically somebody who adheres to the Constitution. Their loyalty is to the Constitution. Their loyalty is to the people, which, if all things go according to plan, the government should serve. But if you have met any soldiers of the United States military and you have spoken to them honestly and seriously about the confiscation of firearms by the military from the civilian populace, some soldiers might do it. Some would, because of course you always have some people that do it, but the vast majority of them would look at you and ask you, are you out of your mind? What makes you think that the kind of people that would confiscate firearms from the United States citizenry are the ones that join the military? Clearly, none of you have never met an oath keeper. Clearly. Or if you have met a United States soldier that would violate the Constitution or the Second Amendment, then good Lord, start playing the lottery, because you clearly are the anomaly here. You're the outlier, or at least you have a very good talent for finding the outliers. Never go into science, but absolutely start playing the lottery. Yeah, if you go into science and you find nothing but outliers, you're just going to throw out studies that confuse people or have no validity whatsoever. The point is that that's not going to happen. If the order came through for the military to fire upon civilians or to instill laws on civilians that violated the Constitution by force, you think they would turn their tanks and planes and guns and just carpet bomb cities, or you think that's what would happen? Okay, I tell you this right now. That is an insult to the men and women serving under the flag, if you think that would happen. So, that's been this little mini tacked-on rant. Hope that all of you enjoyed that. This is going to be a slightly short video, but what have you. I'm filming on a potato. What do you want? This has been One More Voice, and you have a good day.